3 top SEO software tools. There are a number of software tools that can help you improve your SEO. Some of these tools run on your computer and others are services that you can access through the internet itself. In this article, we're going to look at 3 tools that will help you improve your SEO. Micro Niche Finder. Keyword research is the first step to any successful SEO campaign. You need to know what keywords people are searching for, and you should also determine the amount of competition so you know what you're up against. If you don't do this step properly, everything else you do for SEO may be wasted effort since you could be targeting keywords that nobody is even searching for. One of the most effective tools for keyword research is a program called Micro Niche Finder. It will generate a list of keywords related to whatever seed keyword you give it, and it can tell you how much competition there is in Google as well as how strong that competition is. It automates the entire process, saving you hours compared to doing the same research manually. Market Samurai. Market Samurai will also generate a keyword list and analyze the competition for you, but it does a number of other things as well. It will identify sites where you can get backlinks, how many backlinks you'll need to outrank the top results, topics on which to write articles for your site, and much more. And Market Samurai has another advantage over Micro Niche Finder. It will run on any platform. Micro Niche Finder is a Windows application, but Market Samurai will run on Windows, Mac, or Linux. SERPIQ. SERPIQ is a web-based service that will help you identify the best keywords to target as well as analyze your competition. It generates detailed reports about the top 10 results for your keyword that includes information such as the page rank, the number of backlinks, and the domain age. It also tells you if the exact match domains are available so you can quickly identify domains if you're in the early stages of your research. Any of these applications will help automate a lot of the work that goes into researching good keywords for your site. They can save you a lot of time, so they're worth the cost when you consider how much your time is worth. If you can't justify the cost right away, plan to invest some of your earnings into one of them as soon as your site starts generating revenue. 5 free sources of backlinks. Backlinks are probably one of the most critical components of SEO. In fact, if you did absolutely no on-site SEO and just built backlinks to your site, you could outrank sites that have perfect on-page optimization. In this article, we're going to look at 5 free sources of backlinks. Article marketing. Article marketing is probably one of the most widely used backlink methods for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's easy. Almost anyone can write an article. And number 2, it's cheap or free in most cases. You write an article and submit it to one or more article directories. In exchange for the free content you're giving them, the directory allows you to include a resource box at the end of the article. You can include one or more links in that resource box that point back to your website. Blog commenting. Most blogging platforms such as WordPress and Blogger let you enter a URL when you leave a comment on a post. Your name generally gets linked to that URL, so every time you leave a comment, you create a link back to your website. The secret to building links this way is to leave valuable comments, not just useless things like, "Hey, great post." Social bookmarking. Social bookmarking on sites like Delicious.com and Clipmarks.com let you add bookmarks to your favorite web pages so you can come back to them later. But those bookmarks also create backlinks from the bookmarking site to yours, so this is a good way to generate more backlinks. Free hosting. Free hosting sites like WordPress.com and Squidoo.com let you build pages about virtually any topic. You can build pages on these sites about the same topic as your own website and then include links back to your site within the content. Some of them, like Squidoo for example, will even let you add an RSS feed to your page. If your website is running on a blog platform like WordPress, you can add the feed to your Squidoo page so it gets updated every time you post a new article on your site. And that update will include a new backlink. Social media. Social media sites like Twitter and Facebook are also very effective ways to get backlinks. Whenever you post an update to one of those sites with a link to your website, that update will get picked up by Google and the other search engines, resulting in another backlink to your website. Getting the most SEO bang for your buck from your content. There's a common saying in internet marketing, content is king. This means that good content is ultimately the most important thing, since without it you're going to be hard-pressed to convince your visitors to take whatever action it is you want them to take once they reach your site. In this article, we're going to look at some ways that you can get more leverage from your content. Let's face it, creating content can be challenging. Whether you're writing articles, making videos, designing images, or creating any other type of content, you're probably going to be faced with writer's block at some point or another. One way to minimize this problem is to get more mileage out of the content you already have. There are a number of ways you can do this. Repurposing content. One of the most effective ways to stretch your content is to repurpose it into different formats. If you have an article on your website, you could record an audio version or create a video with a PowerPoint presentation. The content's the same, but because you have multiple formats, you can post them in different places such as YouTube or iTunes to get more exposure. These repurposed versions can also link back to your website, which can help with SEO as well. Rewriting content. If you use article marketing or free hosting as a backlink strategy, you have to write even more content. Rewriting content that you've already created is a good way to simplify this process. It still takes some time and effort, but because you're not having to come up with completely new ideas for content, it can be a lot easier. This is especially true if you're working in a niche that you're not necessarily all that familiar with yourself. Spinning content. Article spinners will take a seed article and spin it into multiple versions. This is similar to rewriting an article, but you can generate any number of versions this way. Spinning has a bit of a mixed reputation. Some people swear by it and some others swear at it. But the fact is, it works well if you take the time to create a good seed article. It can take some work to generate a seed article that creates readable spins, but if you do it right, you can generate dozens of unique articles from that one seed, saving a lot of time and effort in the process. How to make the most of your article marketing. Article marketing is a great way to build backlinks, but simply submitting articles to the directories and sitting back waiting for the traffic to start flowing doesn't work like it used to. In this article, we're going to look at some strategies for maximizing your results from article marketing. First, the landscape of article marketing has changed quite a bit over the last few months. Google's Panda update hit most of the article directories pretty hard, and they've really clamped down on their quality requirements as a result. 250 to 300 word articles that are really just reworked content from other places just won't cut it anymore. You need to write longer articles, 500 plus words, and they need to be just as high quality as what you would put on your own websites. This goes beyond the minimum requirements for most article directories, but look at it this way. You could get by with the bare minimum, but if Google does another big update that spooks the article sites into tightening their requirements even further, those bare minimum articles might suddenly be not good enough and get removed from the site. Wouldn't you rather put a little extra effort into writing articles that will stand the test of time? Another way to get more out of your articles is to build backlinks to your articles once they go live on the article directories. Most people just submit an article and move on to the next one, so if you're building links to those articles, you're going to outrank most of your competitors. And the backlinks that you include in those articles will be more powerful since the article will be getting some backlink juice as well. That extra link juice will trickle down to your own website over time. And finally, treat your articles as a source of direct traffic as well as a source of backlinks. Include a good call to action in your resource box to get people to click through to your website. You'll still get links to your website, but you'll also get some direct traffic from people who find your articles on the article sites. This direct traffic can come pretty quickly too, so it can help get your site moving while you wait for the links to have an effect on your rankings in Google and the other search engines. How to maximize SEO without turning away human visitors. SEO is all about the search engines, structuring your pages and links to get the most value in the eyes of the search engine algorithms. But getting high rankings is only half the process. Once you get ranked, it's real humans who visit your site. If you over-optimize your site, you can wind up with something that doesn't really help those visitors. In this article, we're going to look at some ways that you can accomplish both. The first thing to remember is that ultimately your site needs to be valuable to human visitors. The search engine spiders aren't going to make you any money, real people are. That means you need to be sure that the content is useful to the people who land on your site. If your pages are stuffed full of keywords and the content is barely readable, people aren't going to stick around for very long. They'll just go back and find another site that provides more value. Always write with real visitors in mind. Yes, you should optimize your pages for their primary keywords, but never at the expense of readability. Generally, you don't want to go any higher than 2% keyword density. That means you should use your keyword no more than twice for every 100 words of content, and maybe only once. Another factor in convincing people to visit your site is your title and meta description tags. The title tag is one of the most powerful parts of your page as far as SEO is concerned, so you definitely want to include your keyword in it. But most of the search engines also use that title tag as the title of your page in the search results, and they often use the meta description tag as the snippet of content that gets displayed in the search results. So make sure your title and description have a good call to action to convince searchers to click through. If your title and description tags are well written, you can often get more clicks in the second or third position in the search results than a site ranked at number 1 but with a poor title and/or description tag. And getting more clicks in the search results could ultimately help your site outrank the top results, since it's quite possible that the search engine algorithms take this factor into account.